The choices we make in life either make us or break us. The choice you made yesterday determines where you will be at today. On today's episode of My Love Truth, I have a dear, amazing lady and friend of my family, and she's here to share with you her love truth, her story based on some choices she made. Yes, she learned from them, and that is why she's on this episode. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. If you're new here, karibu sana. My name is Rozitta, and this is the place where we embody truth. If you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing to you Mercy. Thank you so much for joining me. How are you doing?
I'm fine.
You look amazing.
Thank you.
Hizo earrings unaweza niachia?
Think about it.
Juu nimekuuliza kwa video, you know, I have a witness. Ukininyima
nitafikiria. I'll think about it.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming.
I'm glad to be here.
You can introduce yourself to our viewers the way you want them to know you.
My name is Mercy Anondo, and I love the Lord. I'm born again. Professionally, I'm a baker and a caterer, and I run a bakery called Kagwe's Kitchen International. I'm also a minister of the gospel.
Amen.
And I went to Bible school for that. Yes.
Which Bible school was that?
I went to Bible school in Nigeria.
Nigeria?
Yes.
From Kenya to Nigeria?
Yes.
How did you find yourself on that route?
I got to know about that Bible school. It's called All Nations for Christ Institute. And I heard about it from a friend of mine who had been there.
Okay.
And we used to go to the same church. Yeah.
So it's something you've always wanted to do, to go to a Bible school?
Not really. I got saved when I was 12 years old.
Okay.
I'm the daughter of a pastor, so
pastor's kids.
Yay! Yeah. So I heard about God early enough, and when I was 12, I said yes to the Lord. When I was 18, now is when I think I really realized what salvation really means. Okay. And from then on, all I wanted to do was serve the Lord. Okay. So when I was about 25, I just felt this call to serve God, and I started thinking of where to go to study the Word. And that's how I learned about All Nations in Nigeria. Okay. And I applied and I went there. Wow. Yeah.
So how was your experience in Nigeria?
Well, two sides. It was awesome. Bible school was really nice. It's real, practical, and very anointed.
So how about the other side? You said it was two sides.
Well, the other side is what happened now when in Bible school. I met this guy in Bible school, and we started dating. And then we eventually decided to get married.
So how long did you date before you decided to get married?
Well, my time in Bible school was 2 years. Okay. And then I stayed for an extra half a year, like 6 months extra. So I met in my second semester, and he was ahead of me. Okay. So we just were friends. We were friends that time. He used to come to where I lived. I lived with a couple, so he used to come and visit, and we would talk. But he made his mind, his intentions known to me, clear towards my coming to Kenya.
Okay, which was after you're done with Bible school?
Yes, I'm done in Bible school, and I've stayed for an extra
6 months.
6 months.
Okay.
Then I came to Kenya, and he proposed on phone.
On phone?
Yes.
For marriage or for a relationship?
For marriage.
For marriage.
Yes.
So by the time you were coming back to Kenya, you were already dating?
Yeah, we were friends.
You were just friends? So he proposed for marriage directly?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes. So I said yes, because I really liked him, and he had the qualifications. I always wanted to get married to a pastor.
Why though?
I don't know. I think because I loved ministry and I knew that was a line I would eventually go.
All right.
So in my mindset then, I knew then it'd be a pastor.
Okay.
So that we can flow in ministry.
So you thought by being with a pastor, it would be easier for you to get into ministry?
It would be easier to preach the word.
Okay.
Yes, to flow.
So that was the main thing that drew you to him?
One of the reasons. The other reason, he was tall, he was handsome.
Was he dark?
Yes, he
tall,
was
dark and handsome.
Yes, and very charismatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I know ladies, we love charisma.
Kabisa.
So you said yes.
I said yes. I really wanted to get married. I'd been praying to get married for quite some time. And so I saw this is an opportunity. And for me, I prayed and I felt it was him at that point.
Okay.
Yes.
So God confirmed it was him.
According to me that time.
How did he confirm it? Was it through dreams, peace? What was it through?
There was peace at that time. Yeah, I want to be honest. There was peace at that time. There was confirmation through prophecy. And there was me just feeling, yeah, this is the man that
you want.
That I want.
Okay.
Yes.
So what happened next after you said yes?
So we continued talking on phone and preparing for the wedding.
On phone bado?
Yes. Okay. Those days, it was 2008.
Wow.
So I don't think we had WhatsApp. Facebook was really minimal.
Yeah, so it was just phone calls.
Yes, very expensive. I
can imagine. Hey, from Nigeria?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so we started planning. It doesn't match really. We decided to make it simple. He was to come to Kenya. The wedding was in Kenya. And everything was here.
What did your parents have to say about you marrying a Nigerian? They didn't have a say?
My parents are easy and exposed. I think they go with what do you want as a person.
I get you.
Yeah, so they saw I was excited and happy, and so they decided to flow with me.
All right.
Yeah.
So the wedding is in Kenya?
Yes.
From there?
So we got married in 2009. 2009? Yes.
Okay.
And then we stayed about 2 weeks, visited friends, visited family again, and prepared to go back. Then we went back to Nigeria.
Okay, so you started living in Nigeria?
Yes, I started living in Nigeria.
Wow.
Yeah.
From there, what happened?
So when I went back to Nigeria, I think the change that I experienced was so immediate.
In what terms?
I saw, he had a bad temper. And I used to see that even when we were talking, when we were friends. Even when he used to come to the house, many of the times when he's talking, maybe it's about someone who has upset him, and you find he's really angry about it. And then even when we became friends and we were dating, even when we used to have our phone calls, at times we'd get very upset very quickly. And so I realized he's very short-tempered. But also he would calm down very quickly.
Okay.
He was able to bring himself down. But along the way, let me say this. Before I got married, I remember telling my sister Eunice that I'm feeling funny. As much as I felt it was God, and everything was working out so well. I got blessed. Everything was confirming, if we look at it that way. There really wasn't any resistance of anywhere. But then there are times we would argue so much and I would feel uneasy. I would wonder, is this really what I want?
You feel like you want to take a step back?
Yes, but I didn't have the guts to. My dad being a bishop and status, and also me, I was thinking these are things you can work out when you get married.
You can change him.
Yes, kinda. There's that notion that is normally
I
there.
will change him.
That I will change him, that it's a small thing, that eventually because of love, it will all
work out.
But I remember telling her at one point, I feel like calling it off.
That was before the wedding?
Yes, that was, I think, like 2 weeks or so.
Wow.
I think we had got into a hot argument about something. I can't even remember. But, you know, you later tell yourself, no,
maybe you're
this
having
is culture, and then
feet.
culture differences.
Yeah.
He's Nigerian, I'm Kenyan. We are doing long distance dating and all that. So all that will work out. But now when I went to Nigeria, I realized that his view of life and mine were very different. And so that started bringing issues, you know, what he thought about me as a wife and in the house. I started feeling as if I am a slave instead of a wife in the house.
Okay.
The way he would tell me to do things, the way he would respond to me, even to the point of if I serve him food with juice, he will take all the juice. Then before it's done, he does this, is like he remembers I'm there, you know, like, oh, did you want some juice? And those are just small things I'm giving as an example, but I realized his view of a wife is very different. So me, I wanted to be this wife, this very loving, romantic wife, but him, he was, you work, you cook, you be there at my command.
So his view of who a wife is was basically somebody to serve him.
Yes.
And you, what was your view of who a wife should be?
A companion, a friend, someone you can talk with, chat with, pray with. Of course, it's not perfect. There are arguments, but it should be more fun. That was my thoughts.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Then that, because we got married in January, by March, we had gotten into so many fights. And then I realized that he suffered insecurity. So he was very suspicious. If I got a phone call, it's someone.
He'd think it's a man calling
A man calling. If I went out,
you're going to meet a man.
I'm going to meet a man. If I didn't answer the phone on time, maybe it's because I'm with a man. If he called me, and it got so bad, I thought I needed some help. But then I realized he wasn't the type that you go and talk to other people. Now remember, he's a pastor. We met in Bible school, and so we had a church.
So you were the pastor's wife?
I was the pastor's wife. I was the mama.
Mama.
Yes, I was the mama. So it's, with that, it wasn't easy. You couldn't really talk to anybody about it. You're expected as the pastor's wife and as the mama, there's a way you should behave.
And you should be perfect in all your ways, including your marriage.
Yes, and then as a mama, women are coming to me and telling me what their husbands are doing or the challenges they're facing in their marriages, and we have to pray. And me, I'm thinking, wow. I
have my own issues.
Mine is not working at all. This is month 3 of my marriage, and I'm thinking, I think I made a wrong move. You know, I felt I made a mistake. Maybe I didn't hear God well, or maybe I was emotional, or maybe I really wanted to get married. But I secretly talked, because being in Bible school, I had friends. And I had pastors, and there were those who were ahead of us, our like authorities, spiritual authority. So one day I sneaked and talked to him and the wife, and I told them what I'm feeling, and I told them he shouts a lot, and he started threats. You know, he started threats.
Threats about?
Like, I regret having married you. Other women are better than you. You know.
For real?
Yes.
Your husband saying that to you?
Yes.
Okay, that's
so I started feeling these threats have come rather early, and it's the way I'm feeling. He's kind of misusing me in this marriage. You know, I am like the labor worker here, to the point of his old T-shirts, the ones that he doesn't want to wear, he'd give them to me and tell me, you can be wearing this. And I'm like, no, why? I'm your wife. If you can't wear this, I shouldn't wear this. Okay. So when I talked to them, I told them, I expressed my fears. So they did what pastors do, they counsel. They counsel, they tell you, no, you're a new wife, you need to learn him, cultures are different.
You need to adjust.
You need to adjust, pray more. You know how it goes. And so I went back and I tried all of it. I tried to understand him. Of course, now I realized also his culture, because he was from North Nigeria. And in North Nigeria, they have a mentality of who women should be.
And what mentality is that?
Women are kind of lesser than culturally. Maybe seen and not heard, kind of. But I still wondered, because he came from a good home and he had many aunties and they were well read.
Okay.
So I was wondering where that mentality was coming from.
Okay.
And I also wondered why he's born again.
Yeah, and he's a
we
pastor.
believe when you're born again, these are things God should work on you.
Yeah.
So I tried. So March, April, May, I went again. I said, no, this is too much. I actually want to leave. In May now, I wanted to leave.
That is 5 months.
Yes, because now he'd become violent with words. He started threatening he'll kill me.
Kill you?
Yes.
For what and why?
Mistakes. He would find small mistakes. Then I had not realized why he was behaving that way. For example, if he found a toothpick, you know the way you can just
use a toothpick
and then you put it down and sincerely forget about it. That was a big deal. If in Nigeria, lights used to go out a lot. So if you're watching TV, then the lights go out and then you forget to put off the telly. And the lights come back, maybe in 5 minutes, and the telly comes on. He'll tell me, you know, if that telly blows you, by the time I close my eyes and open my eyes, you have to have bought a new telly.
Okay.
So it became crazy.
Yeah, that is too much.
Yeah, then that started graduating to threats. Just small mistakes. You've not cooked right, you didn't answer the phone on time. Then I realized that he was being unfaithful. So I knew that is where he was insecure about.
Okay.
He thought
because he's unfaithful, you're also unfaithful. Okay.
Yeah, it one day clicked. One day I just had some time and I realized, I think this is what he's doing. And I realized some of the phone calls he would get, he would walk out of the house. And later, after I left my marriage, is when you hear stories of what was really going on.
Then you connect everything.
Yeah, but I realized because of what he was doing, and then he's also a pastor, so he's trying to cover everything up. I realized that he was also now trying to also pin me down and put blame on me.
Okay. Did you ever tell your parents what you were going through?
It's not easy. You're far.
Yeah.
My mom was sickly at that time.
Okay.
There was a point, I think in April, she was ill and admitted.
Oh, so you couldn't.
So we used to talk, but I had to put a strong face. But I had friends there, so I used to talk to them. But somehow I was telling my parents is just depressing them, because they would think, hey, our daughter is going to be killed there, you know. And there's also this notion, I think, about Nigeria from here, you know. So I kind of protected him, you know, and I protected what my parents felt. Yeah.
So what was the worst scenario you can remember during those 5 months?
Actually, there were 7 months.
Oh, 7?
Yes. I think June was the worst time. I may not really remember when I really now had to seek for help. I went and talked to this couple that he also respected. Well, so I thought, and told them things are really bad. Now he gets physical with his words. And they ask me, what is it you do? I'm like, small things, mistakes. Maybe food is not ready on time or didn't pick the phone on time. And I said, he would say he would kill me. He would even pick a stool and want to like hit me.
What?
Yeah, but he would never really get there. But he would threaten, you know, and accuse me of just not being that wife I should be. So they talked and asked if they should see him. And I told them, you know, I don't think he believes in that. I don't think he believes that people should go and talk to him about his marriage. And I said that because of the things he would tell me, that a wife should stick by her husband, even if things are how hard, even if the marriage is burning, you never tell people what's going on. So I told them he has that sort of mentality. So if you're to talk to him, then it has to be very, very, very what? Very secretly.
Yeah.
So the man, the husband, said he would call him. He was a lecturer in the Bible school.
Yeah.
So what he did was he called him in one of the days and told him, oh, it's long since we talked, come over. So because we all had phones then, the wife kept telling me what was going on. So called him and said, I want to check on you, know how your marriage is going. You're still young in marriage. You have a foreign wife.
Yeah.
So he also gave so he opened up and said things that he felt I was doing that were making him upset.
And what things were those now? The toothpick thing?
Yes, he gave those ones. Like I don't put the TV off, I don't put the lights off, I don't pick the phone. Those things irritate him, you know. So they called me later and told me, why don't you try and work on those things? If that's what irritates him, try and work on them. Okay, I said, but you know, how perfect can you be?
Yeah, you cannot be perfect.
Yes, I mean, you want to also be free, you know, but then I said, I will. So he called me and asked me, where are you? You know, I had told him I want to visit them. So he came to visit, he came to pick me. Now, when he came to pick me, I was in the kitchen with the mama, and we were just preparing something. So the man of the house told him, oh, let's just keep talking, you know. So I really don't know what happened. I don't know what transpired with their conversation. So when the Oga of the house told me, your husband is waiting for you, go and pick him, I found him trembling.
Trembling?
Yes. And he was sitting on the, no, he wasn't sitting on the floor, he was sitting on the seat. So I asked him, what's wrong? So he was just shaking and looking at me. And then I'm like, what's happening? What happened? What did you talk about? And you know, it was funny because the more he was shaking, in my eyes, he looked like he was growing big in my eyes.
Like cartoons.
I started feeling as if he's swelling, and I'm thinking, because he was called Ibrahim. Ibrahim, no, we no call them baby there. Baby, what is it? And I had this feeling that whatever anger this is, I don't know what has happened. I don't know anything. I felt as if he will reach a point and strangle me. So I ran out of the room.
So in that room, you were just the two of you?
Yes. I was to pick him and we go home. And I don't know what they had talked about. You know, you find someone shaking, then he, you know, so I ran out and they were in their bedroom. I ran straight into their bedroom and I said, something is wrong with Ibrahim. I don't know what has happened and I feel this guy is going to kill me. No, that was the feeling I had. So the man of the house said, no, I just chatted with him and told him that as a man, there is a way he needs to treat his wife. You know, we were just chatting basically. So when he went back to the room, he found him seated on the floor and crying. So he asked him, what is the problem? He said, nothing. So I told them, I'm not going anywhere. Yeah, me, I cannot go with him. This guy is going to kill me. So they said, I think, allow your wife to spend the night here. Then all of you cool down. Because I was very shaken. There's the way I felt. I felt a certain fear. So he left and I stayed. So the next day now he came to pick me. Now there's a way he entered that room. And I went to the kitchen and I told them, I think this guy will kill me tonight.
I don't know why we are laughing, but
no, I'm done. I'm through it. So I was like, this guy I think will kill me tonight. They're like, no, we've talked to him. He's fine. He's okay. Hey, but I told them there's a way he's looked at me. I know that look. They said, no, we are a call away. So we got into the car. Now me, I knew there was trouble because I had not even put the second foot inside the car. He drove off. So I was left to struggle and I'm like, today I'm done.
What?
Today I'm done. And so as we are driving, he told me, what did you tell them? What did you tell Pastor? What did you tell the wife? I said, nothing. What did they tell you so that you think you told me? I told them. He said, today you're going to die. So he would drive, you know, in Nigeria, they don't, we drive on the right. Yeah, they keep right or left.
They keep right, we keep left. I think so.
So I'm seated this side. Yeah, I'm seated on the left.
Yeah.
So he would make sure he's straight, head on the side, on the oncoming cars.
What?
Yes, I'm going to kill you today.
He wanted to cause an accident.
Yes, and he wanted it to be like, the moment we'd meet head on, he would swipe kidogo so that my side is hit. But that is when I knew God is God. He couldn't. Somehow he would swerve completely. Probably there were angels there.
Okay.
So he stopped somewhere in the middle of a bush. He got out, he came and opened the door. He told me, get out. He told me, today you will tell me what you went to tell them. So I said, I didn't tell them anything. So he started banging the car and he started calling me all names. I don't think I should call them here. All names, all vile names that he thinks I am. Prostitute, witch.
What?
You know, that since I married you, things have been wrong. Why do people in church like you? Why does my mom like you? Why do my people like you? You know, you must be a witch, you must be a mommy water.
What?
So then I'm on my knees, I'm begging for my life. That day, by then, I knew I would die.
You're begging for your life.
Yes. Cars are passing, but no one is stopping.
And no one is stopping.
I think people have realized that this must be a wife and a husband doing their thing.
Hey.
So he started running. I think what really scared me was the way he ran. There was like an unfinished building, like a wall somewhere, like about some meters away. So he would shout and he would run to the wall, bang the wall, come back.
Was he possessed?
Maybe. And then come back and then hit the car, run back like around 4 times. Hey, that day I knew today I'm going to meet with my maker.
What?
Yeah. But you know, in all that madness, he didn't hit me. He was
Not
hitting
even
the
once.
car and hitting the wall. Not even once. Yeah. But I was traumatized.
I can imagine.
I knew today was today. So I decided, because he told me enter the car. So I entered the car. I was shaking like a leaf. So I knew when we get back, what I'll do is I'll disappear. Because where we lived with the landlord and he had 2 dogs. So those dogs are really, really curly. So he used to open. He had to even help me get the dogs to like me. So what he used to do is, because I was still afraid of the dogs, he would open the gate, then lock the dogs, and then come back and be driving. So I knew when he's doing all that, I will disappear. Yeah. And you know, this is Nigeria. You're disappearing where?
To where? To whom?
And I had said, I'll disappear. I won't even go back to the pastor's home because now I know this guy wants to kill me. And I know he wants to finish me. So I said, I'll disappear to wherever. But you know, I believe God being God knew if this girl disappears, she'll actually die wherever she's going. So he thought, this guy, Ibrahim, he went out, he came, he opened, he picked me. We opened the gate together. He held me. So I think he sensed I'll run away. So we opened the gate together, and then he took me to the house, locked the gate, went and opened, and came back.
Okay.
So I went and I hid all the knives. I just knew today is the day. I hid all the knives. Mind you, there's a dagger he had shown me. There was a time he had shown me of a dagger. So I knew this dagger today will do its work.
What?
So I hid the knives, I hid my documents in that short period, because he normally takes time. He'll go, then open the dogs, walk around the house and all that. So I hid my things because I knew today he may ask for everything. So he came in and he shouted, told me from now on you will respect me as the man of this house. You will kneel down when, okay, in Nigeria, you know, they kneel down.
Yeah, that's how they do it.
Yeah, but you see, for me, I'm not really a Nigerian. And we had agreed I don't have to do all those things. But he said I don't respect him. So he said I have to kneel down when I'm serving him, kneel down in the morning when I wake up and say, good morning, sir. Tell him well done. You know, it's their tradition. So it was really a traumatizing night. To cut the story short, because we can go on and on like for one full year about it. About that time, God spoke to me, and I knew that God is with me, even in that marriage. It was June. What he did, by the way, was just before June. And then in June, he had become crazy. He used to come and just look for anything, look under the seats, believe that there must be a man. You know, he's even stopped buying food, so it was survival for the fittest. He made me get a job because he said I have to work, and I got a job. Then one day when I got my first salary, and I've not given him the first salary, now he told me, now you'll stop working, because I'm disrespecting him by not giving him the money. Should work, give him the money, we plan for it. So
you are constantly in the fear of being killed?
Yes, because the threats were there. So I knew one day he'll definitely kill me. So I took the Bible. I was so afraid, and I just opened it, I put the Bible down, and I literally saw a light, like shine from somewhere on the Bible, and I was looking at Psalms 23. Wow, and the only verse I saw was, even though you walk through the shadow of the valley of death, do not fear, I am with you. Wow. That's the only verse I saw. And I literally knew I was in the valley of the shadow of death. But the Lord was promising me
God is still with you.
Yes. So I knew I was not dying, but I was afraid. So the whole of June was very troubled. And in July, I think it was 15th of July, or it's like 2 days before that, I just knew I had to leave.
Wow. Now leave Nigeria or the marriage? The marriage.
I just knew I had to leave.
Wow.
Because the way things were, he would literally pick an iron box. Do you know, for nothing, when I think, you know, it reached a point, at that point I knew the enemy had trapped me. The enemy wanted to get rid of me. The enemy wanted to get rid of me because of my calling, the calling of God on my life. So I knew this was a whole trap of the enemy. So I was in the lion's jaws, about to be swallowed.
Wow.
So it hit me that, hey, life is better. Life is bigger than this. I don't have to die. So in July, when I realized you don't have to stay here, and you don't have to stay because of your, of what do they call it? Your not your status, your image. There's my
people
dad.
Mind too much about their image.
There's my dad, who is a pastor in Meru, known. It reached a point I said, you know, one day these people will be called that their daughter has died, and I won't even have accomplished my purpose in life. So I planned. Now, because it had reached a point where he told me, if I ever leave him, he will kill me. He will bury me. He'll make sure he buries me before he dies. And then he had also told me he doesn't care now about God, about ministry. That is when I knew this was now the enemy had stepped in. He will make sure he destroys me.
Wow.
And so I couldn't tell him, dude, let me just go. Tuachane kwa uzuri, everybody should have their space. I knew he'll just kill me. So I had to run. Like I planned with my friends. Finally, I had some friends who felt, when I told them, first they were not agreeing. You know, this issue of marriage, people feel, try and work it out.
Yeah, by all means, you're a Christian, you're not supposed to leave your marriage.
Yes, but me, I told them, you people, you're going to bury me, and I don't want to die. So they helped me to leave. So I left one morning. He had gone for a course at 6. And that morning I called them and told them, today is the day you're coming for me.
Wow.
So I left. I packed my stuff and left.
Did he suspect anything like that would happen?
I don't think so. I played it very cool. I felt that if he suspects, that's it.
You're gone.
Yeah, so I played it very cool. I was a good wife. Now that maybe he suspected how perfect I had become. Too good. The food is ready on time, because I was afraid that if I do anything contrary, he will think that I'm on my way out. Yeah.
Okay. So your friends are coming to pick you up.
Yeah, they came and picked me. And it was a very traumatizing time.
Wow.
At that point, when I was packing, I was afraid, I was crying, I was sweating. Nigeria is hot. Everything was happening. I had lost weight. I was like this, you know. and they picked me. They were also afraid. They were also afraid. So they sent a taxi with dark windows, so that there's no trace of where I've gone and what has happened. So when I left, I went to a friend he would never suspect.
Somebody he never knew.
Someone he never knew would have helped me.
Okay.
And I met that lady and the couple through him. But he never suspected. They housed me for 3 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you left the house. Did he ever look for you?
He didn't know where I was. He went to all the friends he thought I was, and he caused a row. He would go bang on their doors, almost bringing it down, go into every room looking for me, saying, I know you people are the ones who've made my wife leave. She wouldn't have thought such a thing. So, you know, he was deceived. He thought because I was quiet, every time he talks and I don't talk, every time he tells me kneel and I kneel and I cower and do all those things, he thought I would never think of leaving. So he was surprised.
Wow.
So he didn't find me at all. But you see now, the culture of Nigeria is there's no way a wife can leave and not have a meeting. And even in church, so the pastor said that we have to have a meeting so that you can now lay your allegations, so that if you're leaving properly. Yeah. But when I was leaving, I thought, let me leave. No, I loved him. So I thought, let me leave so that I can shake him up. You know?
Kumshtua. Like, I can actually leave you.
So nikapack vitu zote zangu. Vitu zile alikuwa ameninunulia, I left them. Plus the phone, everything. I carried just what was mine from Kenya. But the 3 weeks I was away, I cried every day because everything came back. And I knew I can't go back. I can't. This guy will just kill me. In fact, I started remembering the threats and many other things he used to do. You know, I've cut short the story. Yeah, many other things he used to do. And I remember and then my parents got to know. So we started conversation with them. And also being afraid to hurt their feelings. I don't want to say everything. So I'm just telling them we have misunderstandings. They're telling me it is normal for a new bride. Go back and work it out. I'm thinking, this guy wants to kill me, you know.
But you can't tell them.
I can't tell them. I told them when I came back. Yeah.
So how did you move from Nigeria to Kenya without him getting to know about it?
No, we had a meeting.
Oh, you met?
We met. They said it would be wrong for me to disappear without his family, my family,
being aware of
aware. They need to know what happened. You see, the way you go and publicize marriage, they were like, this one has to be public. So after 3 weeks, we had a meeting. He had not even told his family or the church that I had left. He told the church I'd gone back to Kenya. And so they didn't know for a few months. But the family got to know because the senior pastor said, no, you have to talk to him. You have to talk to them. So for me, my family couldn't come. So my friends, my very close friends, stood in as my parents. So we had like a big meeting, like 20 people. Wow. Friends, his best friend. His mother got sick when she heard what happened because she really liked me. And she thought, now what's all this? So I was to lay my allegations. Why have you left? And he was to say, why did he treat me that way? What did I do for him to treat me that way? So the allegations he laid were those ones, you know.
The pettiness.
The pettiness. Hey, and one pastor said, you know, as we are talking right now, I've bought my 5th TV because of my kids. You know, one even pushed it, it broke. And you're telling us, because she forgot to put it off, you know, such things. And they asked me after, it was a long meeting, like 5 hours. You know, I was so drained. So they asked me, what do you want? I said, I want to leave. They were like, no, you've been married for a short time. I said, no, this guy will kill me. They said, no, we believe in giving second chances.
And you know, there's a thing with giving second chances, and somebody just ends up being dead.
You know, I agreed to the second chance.
You did?
Now if people have begged you, imagine these mamas are kneeling down before you doing this and telling you, oh, just give him another chance. I don't even think he said sorry that day, by the way.
He didn't.
He was told he needs counseling, he needs deliverance, he needs counseling. Because actually they said when we listen to your wife, and my friends who've known me for long, we know her temperament. I mean, she's literally traumatized. There must be something wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe you have issues within yourself that you need to have sorted. Yeah. He said he will deal with it himself. But you know, they still begged me. You know, I think that whole image, you know, your pastors is a church. Yeah. So I agreed. Okay. Yeah. I agreed, but I told them I cannot go back to that house alone. So his best friend, who was with his fiancée, said we will all come. If we have to sleep on the same bed, then we will all sleep on the same bed, but give him a second chance. Wow. Okay, so I said yes. Now, they left. You know, everybody walked out of the church we were in, and they left the two of us alone, like to maybe walk down together, because he'd not seen me for about 4 weeks. So as we are walking, he starts to complain. Why did you leave? You put me to shame. You embarrassed me. So he starts to quarrel. So by the time we get to his car, he went in. He got in to open the door for me, you know, and I just turned back. I looked and said, this guy has started quarreling. Already, you've put me to shame. Already I knew. This put me to shame. I'll never hear the end of it. His friends were in. I don't even know how I walked away from the car and went and entered the nearest car that I saw. And they were like, what is it? I said, do you know what? You guys, this guy is going to kill me. I am just seeing darkness ahead. Even if all of you come to this house, if this is what the enemy wants, he will make sure he does it. This guy will kill me. So, and that was it. Yeah, I went with my friends. He followed. He wanted to know what's up. And I said, me, I can't come back. I can't.
There's no way I'm coming back. The chance.
Yeah, that's it.
So how did you leave from Nigeria to Kenya?
I stayed a little bit. None of us had money. We were all financially challenged for a ticket. But I said I was a baker. So I baked a cake, a wedding cake. That is how I got a ticket to come back.
Did he ever follow you to Kenya?
No.
Not even once?
No.
Did he talk to your parents even?
Yeah, he called them. When he realized I was not going back, okay, my dad tried to engage him to really know what happened, to hear his side. And finally, Dad, being a pastor and a psychologist, he thought something must be wrong with this guy. Yeah. And decided, let our daughter just come home. But he asked for his dowry back. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Yeah. But of course, Dad was so offended.
Yeah, that is offensive.
Yeah. So he didn't. I've never seen him from July. From August 2009.
Up to date.
Yes.
Did you ever talk after that?
Yes. When I came back and I stayed for a full year, and I realized, you see, you're not marrying him, you're not going back, so you have to divorce, because I married legally. Yeah. So when I started the divorce proceedings, I had to call him.
You had to be in touch.
And tell him this is what is happening. Yeah.
Okay. Now, after going through such a challenging 7 months, of course you're broken, you're traumatized. How did you begin the journey of healing?
It was hard. I think it took me about 3 to 4 years.
What?
To become sober, to stop being fearful and traumatized. I think it was a lot of God. I stayed with my auntie, who is a counselor, so she would counsel me a little bit, but I also took a lot of time to pray and read the word, and I engaged a lot in ministry. Okay. I stayed in Nairobi a little bit before going back to Meru. Okay. I felt going back home would be too pressurizing for me. So the church I went to, I engaged in ministry. I cried a lot. I didn't want to work.
can imagine.
I think I was a bit depressed.
Yeah.
It was a whole process. It took about 3 to 4 years for me to really pick myself up. Even if I used to work, but to feel sober and feel, I'm strong and I can move on with life again.
Do you think there's any choice you would have made different before marrying him that would have made things?
Yes.
What choices?
I wish I didn't. I wish I didn't marry him. I wish I was strong enough.
Him.
I know, but now, with what I know now, I wish, as I told my sister, I feel like breaking off the engagement. I wish I
just
did.
Accepted that.
I should have broken it off. I wish I was strong enough to do it, because it was just a broken engagement. Yeah, people have come to Meru for the wedding, or people are planning to come, but that's just it. Than a broken heart.
Yeah, and a broken marriage.
And broken marriage and everything put together. Yeah,
it's better to have a broken engagement than a broken marriage.
True.
Do you think that that broken marriage has affected your current life right now? Has it made you to think different? Are you afraid of anything?
Right now, no. It's been a journey. It's not easy. Anyone who says that, I walked out of my broken marriage and continued living happily, maybe the happiness comes with I didn't die. I was able to move on. But hey, before I realized I made the right choice, because I would have died. Yeah. It took time, because of course I mourned. It was like a funeral. Yeah. I mourned that I was no longer married. I mean, I'd literally left my family. I was like Ruth, left everything, went to a foreign land, gave away my stuff. So you come back and you're starting afresh, and trying to see whether you can break through. But today, of course, it affects. It affects the way you look at men. The issue of trust went really down. It had to build up. And I built walls around my life. Of course. Yeah. And even when I tried to date a bit, it was evident
that you're really having trust issues.
Trust issues. If you don't call, if I can't get you. Because when I realized how unfaithful my husband that I was married to was, I think my trust really, really died. Then another thing is, if I dated someone who quarreled or looked like he's aggressive, I decided I'll never fear again. Yeah.
You just walk out before it gets
or
serious.
we confront each other. I remember one, he was quarreling, not giving me time to talk. And I remember that's what used to happen with Ibrahim. I try to talk, he's like, why are you talking when I'm talking? I keep quiet, why are you keeping quiet when I'm talking, you know? So one day, this guy is just talking. I told him, shut up, you have to give me time to talk. And I realized now I've become aggressive. You won't put me down.
It's because of the walls.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So
we have so many people, especially women, going through violent marriages. They're having violent husbands in their homes, but they're not as strong as you and as courageous as you are to walk out. Talk to that person who's watching and they're probably going through a similar situation or even worse. Talk to that person.
You know, it's not easy to... I don't know that it's our culture, how we were brought up, that once married, stay married. But I'll tell someone who is in a violent marriage that life is more than just that marriage. You have a calling, you have a purpose, if you have your kids, you have a destiny, you have your happiness. If you're being beaten up or being abused with words or being pinned down, I would advise you to walk out. Yeah. Even if it's for some time. For space, because people change. Yeah, people change. I would advise you to walk out, probably give yourself some space and think things through instead of being killed. And these days, every day on social media, we are having a case of killings from spouses. So you'd rather walk out and be alive and bear the shame or the embarrassment, if there's any, and have your life back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about a single person who is at that age where they also want to really get married and they'll say yes to any man who comes their way? Advise that person on what they should consider most before getting into marriage.
I think when that time of dating and courtship is important for you to discover that person. We have to be very real with ourselves. Times we get so emotionally entangled and love. I think you have to be sober. If there's something you see in that person and you don't like then, and you feel this person won't change, and it's something that would bring threat to your marriage, then let go of that relationship. It could be anything, a weakness or a habit or a character, you know, just let go of that person.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because somebody said the red flags you ignore are the green flags that will get you out of that marriage.
True.
Wow.
True.
There's a man watching and probably he has the same issues as Ibrahim. Please help that man. What is the one thing you would tell Ibrahim that can also be told to men out here who are violent to their wives?
I would tell that man to seek help. Yeah. Because many men who are violent or either with physical violence or with words or abuse have a problem. Yeah, it's coming from somewhere, maybe from your childhood or maybe from something that happened or spiritual. Seek help. If you're born again, it's spiritual, seek help. Yeah, seek help. Wow. You either go to a psychologist, a psychiatrist, or your pastor. And if you suffer insecurity, also seek help.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel so blessed by your story. I mean, you're so strong. First of all, to get out of a marriage in this generation, you're a Christian, you're a pastor's kid. You're supposed to stay married, as you've said, but you are strong enough to say, no, I won't settle for less. That is so courageous of you. Thank you so much for sharing your story with our audience.
You're welcome.
I'm pretty sure so many of them have been blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, that was the story of Mercy, how she was able to make a right choice after realizing she had made a mistake. And maybe you're there, you're going through the same thing. It's not too late for you. You can change your life. You can change the direction of your life by choosing to walk out of something that is going to kill you rather than surviving there. In life, you're supposed to live life and to live in abundance, not to endure. So I hope this story has inspired you, and if you're out there, you feel like you need help, you need somebody to talk to, please, you can always DM me. As I always tell you, you can get in touch with me. I'll put my email down below, and if Mercy is comfortable, I'll put her email down below so that she can also help you. She has said she is. She's going to also help you. If you want to talk to her, please do get in touch with her. Let's work towards having healthy marriages, marriages full of love, and at the end of the day, let our marriages glorify God. I hope you've been blessed. Comment down below what your takeaway point was. Mine was, if you see a red flag, don't even think twice, just walk out immediately. Thank you so much for watching. Remember to share this video, comment down below, like, and if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe. Also check out Mercy on Facebook. She's Kagwe's Kitchen. If you're in Meru, please have her bake your cake. You will love them. Until next time, bye guys.
Bye.